Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and this is Rogue, very sleepy dog, on a holiday morning. It's Memorial Day here in the US, and for those of you that celebrate, happy Memorial Day. Wearing my fireworks t-shirt. Our neighbor last night set off fireworks. The dogs went crazy. I'm like, it's not Memorial Day yet, tomorrow. And I don't believe in fireworks in neighborhoods. So, because it frightens the dogs, you know, and you go to a fireworks show. If you want to set off your own fireworks, don't do it across the street. Do it in your backyard or something, you know. You want to do it out in the street, don't do loud ones. It's so hard in this neighborhood. There are dogs in every house, and so it set off dogs all across the neighborhood. These loud, he likes loud fireworks. They sounded like gunshots. Boom, 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 right? I don't even think those are legal here, loud fireworks. You know, you can buy fireworks, but they're you know, little fountains or you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah. So tonight it's going to be worse. I have to remember to be here for them so that the fireworks go off. I'm here to talk to you about my stitching and my crochet. And I'm going to talk about my crochet first, which is annoying. and my stitching, which is got some very interesting tales to go with it. So here is my crochet. I finished the bodice part, the body of the sweater, shirt, and here's the back. Which I did exactly like the instructions up until here. I was supposed to skip 8. If I had skipped 8, this wouldn't have been the same size as this. I counted the number of stitches, and I recounted them, and I counted them again down here below where we started. So I have no idea. That's the neckline, like that. So hopefully I can figure out how to do the front, because where she's telling me to start for the front, if I did that, it would be lopsided. One side, one armhole bigger than the other. So I've got to figure it out. There was supposed to be 72 total double crochet. And each front and back is 27 inches. So I don't know, maybe 28 inches. So I've got to figure out how to do it, because if I do it the way she told me to, it would be lopsided. So I haven't reviewed this product yet. I'm kind of annoyed. I contacted her for help for the front and the back because I didn't really understand it. And she said there's a chart. The chart is for the spider web part of the pattern, not for the front and the back. So I think it's a beautiful pattern, and I applaud her for stepping out there and doing an Etsy shop. But there's no picture. There's no... Did I show you a picture? I'll put one at the beginning of this tirade. Maybe I'll insert it here, I don't know. And the lack of help for a pattern is just, yeah. I don't write crochet patterns, so I don't know that I have room to really criticize her doing it, and it's a brand new shop. But you're putting it out there. So anyway, at the Spring Mingle, I ordered some fabric. And it came. This is a fat quarter of 16 count vintage country mocha because I am struggling to see 32 count. And so I'm like, I want to do it that size, so 16 count I can see. Because I don't have to try to find the 4 quarter. And she sent these cute little stickers to go with it. There's 3 of them. It says Lindy Stitches, and it has the same. Is that a moth? I think it's a moth. Might be a butterfly. I have no idea. To me, there are some moths that are beautiful. I still don't want them around me. I don't really want butterflies around me either. I like looking at butterflies. I've been to a butterfly. It's like a zoo, but it's just butterflies. You know, when you can walk in where the butterflies are flying all over around and they'll land on you and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll take my group. I used to work with a group of individuals. I took them in there and they were having fun, you know, watching the butterflies and getting excited when they land on them. I'm like, don't you land on me. Nope, don't land on me. You're pretty, stay away from me. So, and I think my thing with moths is one year when I was in high school, there was an abundance of moths that year. I mean, they were everywhere, like grasshoppers this year. And I arrived at school once, and we had these 2 staircases outside, and bricks were painted white. They were round staircases, and the bricks were painted white. And we pulled up on the bus, and that whole round white staircase on both sides was brown from moths. Just so many moths. There was no gap. It was just solid brown. And when you walked into the school, you had to walk by those things, and they all would fly up and then land again, and fly up and then land again. And it was no, And it's like love bugs in Florida. But love bugs in Florida, they live for a few seconds and they die. But they're so prolific during love bug season. Anyway, I don't like bugs. Even pretty ones, I don't like them. On to my cross stitch. So this is Temperature Pets by Jace or JaceBreeze. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm regretting this choice because I can't count. It's not like other temperature designs that I've done where it's like individual little things that you stitch. Some days it takes a long time because of, you know, how many days. So maybe if I did it day by day, I don't know. Here's May so far. This is up to Friday. We're heading back up into this color soon. Here in Santan yesterday, my phone told me it was 107, but I looked at the Sky Harbor temperature and it said 100. And here's the whole thing, sorry. But somehow I got the number of lines wrong again, just like I did on this dog. This dog, I just fudged it. The cat, I just looked at it and fixed it, and it was a challenge. So I think it's because sometimes I do it on Thursday and sometimes I do it on Friday. And I think I'm on Friday. I have no idea. I don't know. I just got to figure out how to get it done right the first time, because we're only in May. That's Hank in the background. He wants me to get up and let him outside. It's starting to get really hot. I don't know that I want to do that, but we'll see. This is the flag. I'm almost done with the blue. I haven't worked on it in the last day and a half, 2 days, because I've been getting ready for June. But I will finish off the blue and start on red. I'm going to do red, and then white, and then red, and then white. Yeah. Let me show it to you a little closer. I'm really, some of them I'm like not so pleased with how well I did the satin stitch, but I'm struggling to do it. I think when the whole thing comes together, I think I'm going to love it. I already like looking at the whole blue already almost done. Just figuring out which color to use next, and that won't come with the red and the white, because with the red there's 2 colors of red, and I'll just alternate them. There's 2 colors of white. There's a bright white and kind of a creamy white, and I'll just alternate those. But there's still some that they're all smaller flowers, so they shouldn't take as long to do. So, and I finish a thread, so if I have to go to 2 flowers over or whatever, at least I know which flower I have to put it on. I worked on anchored tails. Now, when I can, I do the sewing method. When I say when I can, certain, like 32 count, I can't, because I can't see it well enough to, use the sewing method there. I started putting in the seaweed, and I got all the way down here to the end of my string, and I went to anchor it, so I turned it on the back, and I'm not showing you my back. And there was a big loop like this, and I was like, but since I don't want to run out of this thread, because I have so many patterns that use these cottage garden threads, I was like frogging back to the loop and getting the knot out and starting again, and I was like, I'm done. So I didn't go back all the way. But oh god, these little guys are so cute. These patterns, these patterns I bought, I'm really happy with it, but I'm really happy with how this little guy is turning out. I'm almost done with, CrazzyStitch. We do Geek. I'm almost done with this line, and my son said to go ahead and take this out so that the last 3 lines fit. We don't care what others think, because in this house we do Geek. I'm already geeking out about Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm hoping to go see it soon. So here we are. I'm halfway through the E. I tried shaking my head like that, and it gives me a headache. I did some more work on the America berry. I really want to get this done, and I don't know if I can FFO it in time for July 4th, but I'm like, it's not an Americana pattern, it's a 250 Americana pattern. So I really want to get it done, and this is where I am. Now, this is not centered under here because I had a mistake in here, so it's going out a little further over here. But I didn't frog the whole thing, because no. Not for one stitch. But I'm just going to have to adjust where the stars are on either side. But I'm ready to finish the bunting. I want to finish the bunting before I do the stars and the eagle and stuff. I've seen this done so many times. It's so pretty. And I need to just go ahead and make myself another template, even a paper template, for how to cut the berry out the right size. And I've seen Helen D has shown that East Coast Crafter is selling plexiglass ones that you can see through to do the berries. And I will be buying those eventually because I love doing berries. But I can hand sew the berry. I don't need a sewing machine for that. So I may go ahead and do a paper pattern and get it. So let's talk about June, shall we? I have a pile here in a crazy order. So some of it's WIPGO, some of it's CrossstitchCamp, and some of it's just things I wanted to work on in June. So one of the things I wanted to work on in June was Sweet Wing Studio Goodness and Mercy. I have to find all the threads again because I only have 2 of them in this bag. This is my progress on it so far. So I have to do all of these flowers and the border, you know, and most of that bird. I wanted to make it a quail, but I think if I do, it'll be too much trouble. So I'm just going to make it just a bird, like the pattern. One of the things on WIPGO was, and if I remember, I'll download a pattern. I mean the picture of the pattern. If it's not already on the iPad, it might be. I don't think so. But this is by Cross Stitching for Fun, which is now Sunflower Cross Stitch. And they had 4 of these, Mary Ravenclaw, Mary Slytherin, Mary Gryffindor. Now I've done all 3 except Hufflepuff. So I have the fabric already cut out for doing Hufflepuff. I can't show you the pattern that I have, and that's the only picture I have. So I'll try to remember to download that picture so you can see them. They're kind of cute. They all take Kreinik, and I have Kreinik ready for them, but you know. So that's a new start because I haven't started the last one. And the other new start is, oh dear, I'll talk to you about that in a minute. One of the whips that I'm supposed to work on 5 days on when witches go riding. Well, the last time I worked on this, I had a different tablet that I put my pattern keeper on. And I said, okay, I'm just going to go download that file. Well, apparently I backed up 1 and 2, but I never backed up 3 and 4. 4, of course, being the final one. And I searched and searched for it. I was searching on the wrong email. I didn't know that. It didn't occur to me that I used this other email because I don't use that for anything. And I contacted Cheryl at TinyModernist and I said, please send it to me. And I just said, I did this and this. She found it. And she found what email I sent it on. She blended them so that we won't, if we have any other further problems. But this is my progress so far. So I'm basically got this whole gray I can't tell you how boring this gray thing is to do. I've got this whole gray thing on either side, and the two skeletons, the rest of the hat, and these words. Will I get it done in 5 days? I don't know. But I would like to have this finished. Now, my problem is I dyed this fabric myself, and it's not quite dark enough for the white. So those skeletons, I'm going to have to do something to get them to show up. I've done back stitching around everything else. So there's that. I am so grateful to Cheryl at TinyModernist for, she likes to sit behind me, for being kind enough to find that and send me the file again. But now I got it into Pattern Keeper, but now I have to go through and do all of the what is the word I want to use? All of the stuff I've already done. Put it that way. My other WIP that I need to work on, I have from WIPGO, is 5 days on Silver Creek Samplers. A Sweet Memory. She told the story about this. They were cleaning up a room that had been her son's bedroom, and she found his handprint on the wall, and she cut it out of the drywall and saved it. So she put these little blocks and stuff. But my son, I didn't have him when he was having toys like this, or blocks even. I'll keep these blocks up here. But what he did from the time he was 2 was be a fish. So I redesigned the bottom part to more fit who my child was. And this is the tail end of the words, and then a towel and sunglasses. This is the bottom of the hand, and it says "Save the Citizen." Hank. And I have part of that done, and I have the rest of it cut out to do the rest. I will not get it done in 5 days, but I'll get a good start on it. I have to pause and let Hank out. Okay. So my other new start is Sparkling Biscornu, and let me find it, and it's in this magazine, Cross Stitch Christmas 2025. And this is what I'm supposed to start. Now, this is just start. I don't have to finish it. But the problem is I need to have enough fabric to do all 3. They're not big. They're not as big as they look in this picture. This biggest one is only 69 by 69, I think. They're not big. But I need to have enough fabric to do all 3 so that I don't finish one and then I don't have enough fabric for the next one. So that's the other WIPGO start that I have to do. And for CrossstitchCamp, we're supposed to do something out of a magazine, and I had chosen this before I found out that WIPGO was going to be something out of a magazine. But I think I'll go ahead and do this. Because that's not a challenge of having to find the fabric. I have the fabric. It's just a little square of black. Same magazine. So that's what I'm doing for CrossstitchCamp. And then for in June. For CrossstitchCamp in July, I'm going to do 250 years of freedom, 250 years of freedom by stitching with the Housewives. And then I finished TinyModernist Cute Crocodile. Now, I had done the white. See all the white that's supposed to be on there? I had done the white, and it wasn't showing up on this fabric, and I was like, well, that's okay. And then I decided it's not okay. I want to be able to see it. So I switched it to pink. So here we are. I was so close to a finish, I was like, I'm just going to finish this. I spent the better part of a day working on this. I think that's the day that I just sat there and worked on. I think that's the day that I just sat there and worked on that flag. I took a day where I was just, that's what I was doing. And then my son brought in some boxes for us to go through things. He's now determined to empty the storage units, which my sister and I are not unhappy about. And in one of those boxes, I found a whole bunch of fabric that my grandmother had used and different things that she had crocheted, most of which I'm going to have to throw away. They weren't anything completed. They were just, you know, she was losing her eyesight, and you know, she was 99 when she passed. And she crocheted up until very shortly before her death. But I found this, and I'm like, did you make this, Grandma? I don't know who else would have made it. It was in a bag of stuff that she had crocheted and yarn that she had been using. So I'm like, was this my grandmother's? It's just a little doily. It's small. I'm going to have to find a place to use this because I believe that she made it. I don't know. She made so many things, and I wasn't living in her house, and not in her house, but near enough to see her every day like I used to. So I don't know that she could have crocheted anything this small. Maybe my aunt found it and she had done it years before her death. I'm not sure. But I remember she made tons and tons of doilies in her lifetime. So this may be one of them that she made. I'm going to treasure this because it came in a bag of stuff that she had crocheted. So I'm pretty sure that she did it. And that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you listening. I'm going to try to remember to get the sound loud enough. And I hope you guys are having a safe and happy Memorial Weekend, or a safe weekend wherever you are. Thanks. Bye.